Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the collective Build-A-Figure of the Frost King from Justice League Endless Winter. If you buy all 4 of these figures, you get to build the Frost King. I got all 4 of these figures at Walmart. They had a palette with all the newest McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures, which part of Frost King they come with. We'll get him assembled, we'll check out his accessories, height and articulation, and we'll compare him with a whole bunch of other figures. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and with no further ado, let's open him up and start building him. And here are the backs of each of these figures in case anyone's interested. You can see the Frost King, the piece you get for each individual figure, instructions how to put Frost King together, and you can see the entire wave at the bottom. And between the palette at Walmart and my haul from Amazon.com, I got a ton of McFarlane DC Multiverse figures today. Alright, now that we got these figures out of the package, here they are with all their Frost King pieces in front of them. Wonder Woman is the first figure. She comes with Frost King's torso. Batman is the second figure. He comes with Frost King's arms and sword. John Stewart Green Lantern is the third figure. He has Frost King's head and cape. And then Black Adam is the fourth figure. He has Frost King's legs. So let's start assembling this guy. We'll start off with the first piece. This is Frost King's torso. Here are the next pieces. This is Frost King's arms and sword. Let's attach the arms to the torso. Here's the Frost King's arms attached to the torso. Starting to take some shape now. Next, let's go and add his cape and head. And now, here he is with his head and cape attached. And then the fourth piece to add, that's going to be his legs. And there you have it. The Frost King is fully put together. I'll tell you, putting those legs on was a pain in the ass. I could not get the peg to go into the hole properly. Kept sliding around, shoved them in there, think I had it, and it would just fall right out. I ended up putting both of his legs into some boiling water to soften the plastic up, shoved them in there, and once they click, they seem to click in okay, at least so I thought. I'd shove in the right leg, finally get attached, then I'd shove the left leg in, right leg would come out, I'd shove in the right leg, the left leg would come out, giving me a lot of very familiar feelings, just like Bane. Now I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. Hopefully this guy's not as bad, but I don't really want to move the legs right now. We will check it out when I get to the articulation segment. Fingers crossed. But that being said, this guy does look badass. So let's take a look at him. Start with his head here. Black around the eyes. Eyes kind of white, maybe a little yellow tint. He's got sort of ice horns coming out of his head. Great beard, great hair. His skin has a blue tint to it. I mean, he is a Frost King. Ice coming off his shoulder. Much more off this shoulder. Some sort of fur. Cape looks very good. Kind of using a Viking feel. Sort of fur at the top. Wonder if it has something similar. Belt buckle. Big animal head. Some horns sticking out. Looks like we have single jointed elbows. Double jointed knees. Sculpting is very nice. Got the soft goods here, can move around. Armor on his torso. Texturing on his pants. A little more fur around his boots. Good looking figure. Nice Build-A-Figure. Now to take a look at his accessory. He comes with a sword. This comes with the Batman figure. It's made of a transparent type plastic. The blade looks good. Nice sculpting detail on the handle. I guess it's supposed to be made of ice. Here's the Frost King holding his sword. He only has one gripping hand, so he can only hold it with one hand. His fingers are a little bit gummy, which is a good thing. You can sort of pry them open and fit the sword in there. Some of McFarlane's offerings have really hard hands. Thinking of the Dark Knight Returns Batman, it's really hard to pry his fingers open so you can hold the horse's harness. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his assembly, and his accessory, now let's check out his height, and he's a big boy. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 9.0 inches tall, which could translate to about 23 centimeters, and if you go to the top of the horns, about 9.6 inches tall. Now let's look at his articulation, and I'm very concerned here. I'm concerned his legs are going to pop out when I put pressure on them. I really hope that's not the case, but we'll see. Hope he's not going to be like Bane. So start with his head here. Of course, you can rotate from side to side. You can look up and down a little bit, not too much. Can tilt his head a little bit as well. Good amount of personality. Shoulders. Shoulder pads are huge. They are soft. They kind of move out of the way. Go up a little bit less than 90 degrees. Other one, pretty similar. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Does not appear to have a butterfly joint. You can see the gap in there, pretty noticeable, but only if you look up close. No bicep cut. Single jointed elbow, less than 90 degree bend. Does have rotation to make up for the bicep cut. His wrist can rotate around. It's going to be hinged as well. His torso here feels like it's one solid piece. He's got a ball joint in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, there, one popped out already. See if we can push it back in there. Kind of think I heard it click just now. Well, his arm came out as well. His legs, let's see. Can go out about this far, not popping out, although I'm being kind of gentle. Not a ball joint, similar type idea. Popped out again. So push back in there. Arm pops out. Get a little frustrated here. Arm back in. Okay, leg, rotate. Popped out again. Definitely getting some Bane vibes here. This leg doing pretty nice. So rotation doesn't really exist, but I can move it around. Pretty violent here, and it's not coming out. Having a little issue here. Maybe I didn't fully get it locked into place, so there is still hope. Knees, double jointed, go back that far. Ankle, forward, back, tilt, rock. Looks like no rotation, and to articulation. So I shoved and shoved and shoved on his right leg. Let's see if it's any better. Up, down, around. Popped out again. So, I mean, it stays in there, but you're going to move around. You're going to have to be dealing with this quite a bit, and that is super annoying. Now, the arm only comes out when you apply pressure. I was holding pretty hard, trying to shove the leg in there. It doesn't fall out very easily. They are a little bit sort of loose. Beyond that little bit of looseness, then it hits a point where it's kind of tight. So, definitely disappointed the legs. I'm not really having an issue with this one, so maybe I'm just not getting it caught in there, but I do feel like I'm hearing it clicking and still come out really easily. Deja vu about Bane, although both his legs were like that. I've had zero issues with this one. Maybe I just don't have it in all the way. I've not completely given up hope. And unfortunately, after messing with him for a long time, keep thinking I get the leg clicked in there properly, and I think I am getting clicked in. It still comes out pretty easily. Don't misunderstand me. He looks great, and you can pose him any way you want to, but you'll have to continually fix that if you're applying a lot of pressure on his legs. I haven't had any issue with the left one, but I'll admit I've been pretty gentle with it. The arm thing is not an issue. I'm really just having issues with one of his thigh areas coming undone. I have seen widespread reports online of people saying something pretty similar, though. Here's Wonder Woman taking on the Frost King, having a sword fight. Here's the members of the Justice League from the Endless Winter Wave taking on the Frost King. And just a closer look, Batman with his Batarang, Wonder Woman with their sword, and John Stewart using his power ring, trying to take down the Frost King. Batman sneaks up from behind and puts his Batman heat bomb on the back of the Frost King. Here's the Frost King with a couple of his buddies. These are a couple of McFarlane, Witcher, Megafig, Ice Giants, both the regular and bloody variation. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures. Starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here's the entire wave of figures you need to complete Frost King. These figures are based off Justice League Endless Winter. We have Batman, Wonder Woman, John Stewart Green Lantern, and Black Adam. Buy all four of these figures at $25 each. Pretty much get the Frost King for free, bringing the price down to $20 a figure, and one is a larger figure. Overall, pretty fair deal. The only thing that was annoying is John Stewart is almost a straight-up re-release of the previous version, so if you've been getting everything, you have to get him a second time, which can be annoying. There is also a Justice League Aquaman single figure coming up in a near assortment, just to add to your Justice League Endless Winter line. Here are all the McFarlane DC Multiverse Build-A-Figures they've made so far. We have Bane, Merciless, Darkfather, King Shark, the Joker Batman Robot, the Dark Knight Returns horse, and Frost King. We know there's going to be a Target exclusive Build-A-Figure Starro, but I don't think we've actually seen what the next Build-A-Figure release is going to be in the standard line. And here, next to several McFarlane DC Multiverse mega figures. A mega figure is essentially a large, oversized deluxe figure that won't fit in the regular packaging. They're larger, they cost $40, similar to a Build-A-Figure. Then, next to some of the largest figures made in the regular line. Each of these guys are a pretty good amount of figure for $20, none of which are as tall as the Frost King. Now let's check them out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to a couple of Lex Luthor figures. Then, next to Superboy Prime and the Dark Knight Returns Armored Batman Blue Edition. And here, next to a couple of Lobo figures. Then, next to the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn and the Mortal Kombat 11 Joker. And here, with the Year 2 Batman and the Hazmat Suit Batman Light Up Edition. Here's the Frost King, next to the Speed Force Flash from Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Reverse Flash from DC's Rebirth Comics. Then, next to the Batman Beyond Blight Atomic Edition and Unmasked Batwoman. And now, next to the recently released Batman 3 Joker's Wave. And here, with the Gotham Knights figures. Then, with all three of the McFarlane Mega Figure Swamp Things. And now, next to the Batman Who Laughs and Robin Crow's 4-pack. Then, with McFarlane's The Batman Collection. Here he is, next to DC's Rebirth, General Zod, and Batman. And also next to Future State, Tim Fox's Batman, and Dark Detective Batman. Then, next to McFarlane's Batman The Dark Knight Returns Build-A-Horse Collection. And I know I started off with this, but in case anybody missed it, here's Frost King with the rest of the Endless Winter Wave. Now let's check him out, next to some other ice or cold themed action figures. Here he is, with a couple of McFarlane Ice Giant from Witcher, both the regular and bloody versions. For some reason I just think these guys look cool together. Then, next to all of my Mr. Freeze figures. And here are all of my Captain Cold figures. Then, next to the DC villain Icicle. And now, with the Mattel Arctic Suit Batman. Here's Frost King, next to a whole bunch of McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 Sub-Zero figures. And here, with all of my ice-themed Fortnite figures from both McFarlane and Jazzwares. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how it fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix them with. Here he is, with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. This guy actually would be pretty cool with the Witcher figure on the far right. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, next to some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, he's a gorgeous, intimidating, imposing figure. Sculpt and paint job are excellent on this guy. I do have a big problem with his leg. His leg popping in and out, it really sucks. Give me flashbacks to Bane, and ever since then, I'm a bit less forgiving. In addition to that, this is a character I care a lot less about than Bane. His accessories cool, articulations, pretty limited. Sculpt paint job, excellent. If I were to rate this figure, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10, mostly because of the leg issue, and because just a character I'm not that excited for. He does look great for what he is, though. If it weren't for that leg thing, I'd easily give him a 7 or 7.5. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.